Hi everybody, I'm Jack Jinseki, and joining me today is Pandemos, also known as Demo.
Hi everyone. Hello, hello. I'm your favorite cyberpunk VTuber and I'm a computer virus, so I'm here to infect your screens today.
Nice. So, Demo, what kind of content do you like to make?
Oh gosh. I'm a little zany, a little kooky, a little fun, fresh, a little out there off the wall, I will say. I'm also I'm also kind of known for being a huge flirt. I can't help myself. I think it's the Leo Venus. I your wives are not safe. I'm coming for them.
I'll need to pick up some pointers in the meantime. What made you want to be a VTuber?
Oh, that's such a great question. Thank you for asking. I am autoimmune and I also have agoraphobia that I got from being autoimmune. So agoraphobia is the fear of leaving your house. I got that over the pandemic. Unfortunately, because they were like, "Oh, if you're autoimmune, you're not going to make it if you go outside." And so obviously that's scary, and having done that for a few years, it kind of messes with you a little bit mentally.
Yeah.
So I ended up watching a lot of like YouTube, which I've always been a big fan of YouTube. And I ended up seeing I don't know if it was somebody talking about Iron Mouse or like a clip of somebody interviewing her or something on a YouTube video, but that's how I discovered Iron Mouse. And then I ended up watching a couple of her streams. And my flabbers, and when I tell you my flabbers were gasted, okay, I was amazed at the fact that you could just be a little anime girl rather than like having to show your face, which I mean, I could show my face. I'm obviously a 10 out of 10 gorge boss queen, but like the fact that I don't have to get up and do my makeup every day was like a bonus, especially since I am autoimmune. I have a lot of sick days. Maybe I don't have the spoons to get up and um do the whole 9 yards that like a regular female streamer would have to do so they don't get weird comments. um so I don't know, that just really appealed to me, also because of the agoraphobia. I don't leave the house much, so I don't get a lot of socialization. I do have a few IRL friends who I do love dearly, but I see them like once or twice a month. So otherwise, I go all day, every day without talking to or seeing another human being. And that does a lot to you psychologically. I basically live my life in solitude. So when I saw Iron Mouse talking about how like that's why she started, was to get some socialization, to get some something to do each day even, I was very intrigued and pulled into the idea. And that's when I decided I wanted to do it, and then I couldn't because of my living situation. And then I started, I think 9 months ago, finally being able to VTube and stream. So it's been an interesting past couple years since the COVIDs. I tell you what.
So, so how long have you been streaming then? Is it just been 9 months?
About 9 months, I think.
Wow.
I hit affiliate July of last year, the
Hey,
first week of July.
congratulations.
Yeah.
Wow. Honestly, you haven't been doing it that much longer than I have. I started last, I think my first stream, not stream, or first thing may have been in like August of last year.
Oh wow, yeah, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not much older than you.
Yeah. You are older though, so I'm
Yes,
holding you to that.
I
Uh,
am 110 canonically speaking, so
of course.
I am old.
so, uh, what was the process for creating your character?
It kind of created itself. So when I came into streaming, I didn't know much about the VTubing world in general. Like I said, I had just seen a couple interviews from Iron Mouse, and that was enough to make me interested. And I'm the kind of person, once again, Aries, not Aries, I'm a Leo Venus. So, fire sign, very active, very like to do things. I just kind of dove headfirst into it without even knowing what I was doing. So I set up like a streamer account, a Twitter account, and I think that's all I had at the beginning. And I wasn't even like, I didn't have a model or anything. I was just a photograph that lit up when it talked. I was like a PNG tuber, I guess you could say.
Yep.
Um, and that's a whole funny story in and of itself because I had to figure out how to make it light up and all that jazz. Like I had to do everything from scratch, and I have done almost everything from scratch with no prior knowledge how to do any of it since day one. So I often run into like some weird stuff where I'm like, oh, I really don't know how to do that, or that's beyond my capabilities. But I will learn how to do it because I have the time. You know, I'm home all day. Um, I know that a lot of people don't have that, but I do.
Yeah.
So so I just kind of I started there, and then I didn't really have anything beyond the name at that point. So I didn't have like a lore or like a character design or anything. And as my community grew, I think we had like days where we would just like joke about what I was based on how I looked because I did have a cyberpunk look. And
Hmm.
somebody once suggested that they see me all the time, so it must be like I'm a computer virus infecting their screen. And I was like, what if I just was a computer virus that infected your screen? You know, so that's how I ended up becoming a computer virus. And then when we got the demo 1.0 model, UC 2.0 right now,
Yes.
1.0 was a Vroid. This is also a Vroid, but
Yep.
a little different. She looked like I just used some presets in VTube Studio, I think it was, and created her. She's very cute, but she looked like an astronaut, and her hair would clip through her booba and stuff like that. She wasn't a phenomenal uh, model to use on the daily, but she was fantastic for like the 6 months that I had her, you know. And so that's when the lore got expanded a bit. We started planning for the 2.0 release, where I got these new updated assets and much more realistic looking textures. Like now I have hair with like tubes in it that light up, like fiber optics, that kind of thing. We've got the cybernetic skin. Um, you can't see, but my eyes have cybernetics in them.
Hmm.
There's like a lot. There's a lot to the newer model that the first one just didn't have. And then we did a whole premiere release review kind of thing. I have a 15-minute long lore movie that I made that I premiered that day.
Oh
I
wow.
think it's still available on YouTube even. And then the new demo model was before you, and the lore was demo 1.0 was going to be canceled by another character I created called Firewall, and I still have the model for Firewall as well. And so for like 2 months before my release, Firewall was trying to take me down because I'm a virus and she was going to delete me. And instead of deleting me, a bunch of cyber hackers and fans worked together to take down both the government and Firewall because the government was what was trying to shut me down. And I ended up getting upgraded instead.
Wow. You've been through a PNG model, and now you're on your second Vroid. I
Yes.
this is a great way to make me feel like I haven't accomplished enough.
Oh, okay. Well, don't say that.
No,
I
no,
am
I'm
what's
I'm I'm o-
called a
I'm only kidding.
workaholic. I'm a workaholic. I'm aware of that. I've talked about it in therapy. Like, I'm a workaholic. You do not use me as an example of what you should or shouldn't do. Okay.
No, I'm only kidding. I'm just
Yeah.
so what's your favorite accomplishment of your channel so far?
I think definitely the not just the demo 2.0 release, but the all the stuff going up to it. Like we had lots of like movies and clips of Firewall trying to take me down. I created a whole website and Discord dedicated to all these like puzzles and things that you could code crack to try to save demo. Like it was a very
Wow.
interactive experience. I spent probably 1,000 hours on it. It was crazy. I didn't sleep for like 3 months up until the release because I was working on all of these different like hidden things you could do. It was very ARG coded. It was incredible. You had to figure out like a password to unlock the website, and then you could have access to more clues within the website, and that all led up to the release, of course, which was exciting as well.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yes, yes. Unfortunately, I was very small and I still am very small, so there wasn't a whole lot of people doing the ARG, but I have a few loyal people who were like, "Yeah, well, I've got to figure this out." And it was really fun interactive experience.
It kind of reminds me. I haven't thought about this in a long time, but back in the day, I think it was when one of the Harry Potter movies was coming out. J.K. Rowling set up a website that had like little tiny mini games and little hints and stuff about things that would happen either in the movie or the book or whatever it was at the time. and it was really, really intricate. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, I remember that being really interesting, and that was probably like 15 years ago at this point. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it isn't.
I
Oh, sorry.
I don't think I experienced that. I was a little too old for Harry Potter when it came out.
Mm.
But that's cool.
Yeah. So, uh, what's been the biggest change to your channel since you've started VTubing, by your estimation?
Oh gosh. This is gonna be a lore drop. Only the OGs will know about this, but I used to use now I use my real voice. But before I called it the demo voice, and I used like an anime character girl voice. And I actually really miss the voice, but I ended up having to switch to my real voice because of the subathon that I've been doing.
Hmm.
I, like a beginner rookie mistake, decided to do a subathon that was uncapped. And I was like, okay, I will stream for 1 hour for every sub I get. I averaged less than like 8 viewers at the time. And I was like, okay, I'll probably get 8 to 10 subs. I'll do a 10-hour stream and then I'll
Oh
go to
shit.
bed. It'll be fine. It'll be that's it, right? Because I'm so small. I think I had less than 500 followers at the time. I was like, nobody's gonna watch me. It's gonna be fine. Um, I ended up with over 500 subs, and so we're still going to this day. And when I stream later today, it'll be day 57 of the subathon.
Holy
Um,
cow.
we're almost going for 2 months at this point because you have to stream so much to burn through all of those hours. And I will say, um, I had to go back to my regular voice pretty quickly because the demo voice was straining my vocal cords and it hurt a lot. So I'd say that's probably the biggest difference is I no longer sound like demo. But part of me is also like, okay, maybe that's also like gone the wayside, kind of like demo 1.0. Like maybe the voice is just that's the first rendition. I've been upgraded, things have changed.
Demo sounds what demo needs to sound like.
Yeah, yeah, it's different now. Definitely.
So, what do you hope to accomplish through your channel?
I would love to create a space where people can come and have a lot of really good laughs, maybe not have to worry about the stress of real life for a couple hours, just come hang out, laugh and giggle with me, watch me try to riz people up, and I may or may not be successful, just enjoy the chaos that I seem to bring to channel. There's lots and lots of clips of me saying and doing just totally bizarre and absurd things that
Hmm.
I don't even remember saying at the time, but then I'll like see somebody clip it and I'll be like, when did I even do this? Why am I like this?
Hmm.
But I just want to be a space where like people can come and just unplug their minds for a little while. Just have a few laughs, enjoy yourself. It's not that serious. At this point, I mostly do just chatting and Fortnite, but sometimes I do other stuff too. But it's mostly chatting at this point because I just like to engage with my community. I like to have them come here and tell me all about their stuff. Like I have one really loyal viewer who literally he just applied for a job and he's got an interview this week and it's very exciting and I hope to hear more about that. So I really care about all of the people who watch me, their lives. I care about it deeply. Because like I said, I started this for socialization anyway. So I know it might be a little parasocial, but I care deeply about the people that come to my chat and are in my Discord and hang out with me every day, that kind of thing. It means a lot to me. They could
I
watch anyone and they chose to come here.
I totally get that 100%. So, who's a VTuber you would love to talk to, and do you have anything you'd want to ask them?
Listen, Cottontail, listen, baby. Hear old demo out. Just hear me out. Listen. We are birds of a feather. You are clearly more dedicated to the craft than I am, but just give me one shot. Give me one chance, one opportunity. I
Uh,
love Cottontail VA.
so, your ideal stream, who are you
Mhm.
inviting?
Oh gosh. See, that's the one upside to having my own talk show. So every Monday night at 5 p.m. Central, we
Hmm.
have the Hot Tub Honeys talk show, and
Hmm.
my co-host is currently on hiatus because she's in college and she's like very overwhelmed right now. But usually it's me and Miko Soup, and I do all of the work. Miko just shows up. But it's okay. That's I like the setup. I'm very type A, as you've probably put together. So I can invite whoever I want, and so far I either get a yes or ignored. I don't think anybody's ever told me no, I don't want to come on the show. No, I don't want to have. I don't
That
want to talk to you, even though I'm small. Like I've had even people who are like partner on before. Like nobody's ever said no. A demo. I hate your guts. You're stinky, smelly VTuber. Don't talk to me. I've not had that experience.
Oh, that has been that's been totally my experience too. It's that you
Yeah.
get like, "Oh yeah, it sounds great," or just dead silence.
Radio silence, which means I probably haven't seen it. So one thing I will say, especially the past like 2 weeks, since I'm slowly blowing up and getting bigger, my inboxes are crazy. And
Mm.
if I have ever not responded to somebody's message, I probably read it and then you got lost in the sea. Like I'm juggling 30 to 50 open Discord messages at any time. It's never personal. I'm juggling so much.
And that's one of the things that has always kind of like I'm always nervous whenever somebody doesn't respond because my instinct is to say, hey, did you not see my message, or did it get lost, like what you were talking about, or is it just you just don't want to do it?"
Yeah, oh my God, the fear of the double text. Like, will I be the needy weirdo?
Yeah.
But also maybe they just got lost. Like I like your first our first lineup to sit up together, I forgot to put you in.
Uh, hold on just a moment. I apologize.
Okay.
How do I?
What an old-timey ringtone.
Oh yeah, no, it's I'll explain in a moment.
Okay.
If I can shut off that. That was a spam call.
Oh no.
I actually have a little setup in my room where I have an old time. I actually have an old dial phone with the buttons and everything, and
Wow.
yeah, and it's red because I wanted to call it the bat phone. And I also got a specific setup so that way it will have a Bluetooth link to my cell phone, so I can use it like an actual phone.
Oh my God, that sounds so cool.
It's it can get very annoying, as you just found out. Oh boy, I'm contemplating whether or not I should cut this out, but you know,
It's okay. I could start over if you want to cut it out.
no, that's okay. Let's keep going. Let's
All right.
we're I very much apologize. Where were we?
Oh, I was just saying that like it becomes harder the bigger you get. So like I think once, especially after the subathon, I think once I hit like 700 followers, that was a couple weeks ago, um I realized, "Oh my God, I'm either streaming full time or if I'm not streaming, I'm spending all that time editing videos or responding to Discord messages to schedule people and have them on or schedule collabs and things." Like it's just incredible. I spend probably 80 to 100 hours a week on the computer now.
Mm.
I'm either asleep or I'm at the computer. So even if I'm not live streaming, I'm doing something. And so it's crazy because like I will miss people's messages, and if it doesn't go in the Google Calendar, I'll forget that we set something up because like my whole day is back to back to back to back meetings. Even just today, I had a meeting before I came here. And I also have to juggle my IRL job, which I do a lot of work in the environmental sector. So
Mm-hmm.
it's I got meetings for that too.
Wow.
So it's kind of crazy. Like every minute of my day is scheduled out even. I don't really get a lot of breaks anymore.
Yeah, I kind of feel I'm not quite as busy as you, but I certainly have the scheduled out feeling
Mhm,
pretty well down. Uh,
mhm.
so, what advice would you give to somebody who wants to be an entertainer?
Ooh, I this might be a controversial hot take. Watch me get
Go for
canceled
it.
on Twitter.
Go for it.
But I mean controversy sells, baby. Sex sells. I will say I think for the most part it's either something you have or you don't. But just like with any skill, if you practice and you learn stuff like maybe improv or like skills to make jokes and that kind of thing on the fly, I think you could outpace somebody that had natural talent and then did nothing with it. But I think that's of any skill, right? So like if somebody was like a naturally a painter as a kid, but they never practiced and they never painted, but you have someone who had no initial talent, but they painted like every week for 30 years, that 30-year-old is going to be much better of a painter at some point. You're going to outpace that person that has the natural talent. I will say there's definitely like an it boy it girl thing though, like the charisma,
Hmm.
you got to ooze it, I think, and I definitely think a lot of the bigger VTubers ooze it. However, not everybody here in the VTubing community is here to be the next big thing. I don't even know if that's my goal. I would just like to be able to do this full time and be paid for it. That's really my only goal. um some people, this is just a hobby. They just come on here and they play with their same three friends every single night and they're playing their favorite game and that's all they need. And honestly, that's beautiful too. Not everything has to be so serious. I know because most of us live in America and we're under capitalism, there's like this inherent need to feel like you have to monetize your hobby. And then once you monetize your hobby, it becomes work and it's no longer fun anymore. Like that's a trap that a lot of people fall into. Don't feel the need to do that to yourself. If you're enjoying what you're doing, just let it be that. It's not that serious.
I always thought it was a little strange once YouTube adopted the monetization model because yeah, it was a long time ago, but
Hmm.
YouTube wasn't always monetized.
Right.
There
Yeah.
was a time where it was just videos, and that's it. And then the monetization came along, and people started bickering over getting like 10 cents for uh, all of their viewership, like
Yeah. Yeah.
all of their videos. And I thought to myself, that's a little odd that people are so bent out of shape over a few cents. How do you think that how do you think that sort of mentality affects your final product? I don't know.
Well, I would say I'm very money motivated in general. I'm definitely the kind of person that like if I can better my situation because my situation's not great, I'll do that.
Of course.
Um, but that's more personal because like I said, I'm not going to go into it too much, but I'm not in a great position. I had a stroke a few years ago and now I can't work. So,
Yeah.
um being able to find outlets to bring in more income so that I can have a stable housing and that kind of thing is important to me. Other people may not feel that level of stress. So that's why I was saying earlier, like, if it's not that serious to you, don't make it that serious. Enjoy your time. This could just be a fun creative outlet for you. It doesn't have to be your full time job. And I know a lot of people that I've met at this point that are streamers that have amazing outside careers, like doctors and people that run corporations and things like that. And like they don't need this to pay their bills.
Mm.
And so they do just come on here and have a good time and they'll probably stay small to mid-size forever because they do have that 9 to 5 all day. They can't put in the hours that I put in.
Mm.
And that's totally fine. Like I said, not everybody's goals are the same. Though I will say for those of you who I'll give this free nugget of advice to whoever it wants to start VTubing or maybe has been VTubing a really long time and they still haven't hit affiliate yet because I've met a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
If you have not created a marketing plan and you do not even know what a marketing plan is, I would start there. Don't do anything else. Don't sit there and stream for 8 hours a day to zero viewers and then break your own heart.
Yeah.
Create some sort of plan to grow your following on Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram. I don't care what your focus is. Make even just a 7-day plan. It will change your life. I hit affiliate in less than 3 weeks because I had a marketing plan. As somebody who went to Cornell for business, if I could give one piece of advice, it would be that.
That is excellent advice.
Yeah.
Okay, so switching gears a little bit, what was your favorite? What was your gateway anime, and what drew you to it?
Oh, gosh. Okay, I think the first anime I ever watched was in high school, and it was Code Geass.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved the fact that it just felt more intense. Like the writing had more story and depth, and the characters had more depth than a lot of stuff that was on American TV at the time.
Mm.
I think, especially considering I didn't have cable back in the day, I anything on channel 2, 4, 6, or 8 was all you had access to, and you can only watch so many episodes of Two and a Half Men before you're like, this show has no substance. This has nothing to it. Um, so I ended up, I think Netflix still did DVDs at the time. I'm definitely showing my age now. Netflix still did the mail-in DVD program. And believe it or not, they had anime on disc back then, which is crazy
Wow.
when I think about it. I ended up watching, I think it was Code Geass, and I got obsessed with Lelouch. I even made him the background of my cellular flip phone, like he was the background of my phone. And I thought it was just the coolest thing ever because he was like so smart. He was sitting there playing chess while everybody else was playing checkers. He was playing these elaborate games to dismantle fascism and create a better world for people. So that just really, especially since I was a punk rock teenager, that really spoke to me in a lot of ways. So of course I got addicted to it at that point. I was like, oh my God, what other animes are there? And I think I ended up just watching whatever Netflix had. Like I was trading out DVDs every like week or two.
Um, so if you wanted to say, for example, go to an anime convention tomorrow, whom would you cosplay as?
Hmm. Okay, I'm assuming in this hypothetical that the outfit would just magically appear and I don't have to make it, right? Because it's
Yes.
tomorrow.
Yeah, unlimited budget. It looks perfect. Who would you go as?
I think I think I would dress as Demo. I'd figure out a way to just be my character in real life because I think
Nice.
that would be kind of a fun form of immersion that I'd not experienced yet.
Which game did you have the most fun playing on stream?
Oh God, I Fortnite is up there. I spend so much time on Fortnite. I love it. I don't care if it's brain rot. I love it. Also lately Repo. Repo's been a lot of fun.
Yes.
Repo's been good.
I've seen a lot of people playing Repo. I haven't watched too much of it myself. Is it how is it different from like Lethal Company?
It's a lot like Lethal
Oh,
Company.
okay. Fair enough.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a lot like Lethal Company, but I will say there's more to do in Repo than there was in Lethal. In Lethal, it was literally just grab object, avoid monster, don't die.
Hmm.
In Repo, you have like options to get upgrades and new weapons. And I mean, I think there were some Lethal mods you could get to kind of emulate that, but like Repo just has it in base game. So
Gotcha. Uh, do you have any games you're looking forward to?
yes, yes. Okay, so Enzoy just came out last week.
Hmm.
That's that hyper realistic Sims 4 kind of game.
Hmm.
I've been enjoying it, but it's still an early release, right? And we don't have any custom content really either. So I'm really looking forward to see where that goes because I've been playing it and it's so fun. I've even actually been tempted to get an Apple product like an iPhone so I can use the face tracking in the game
Hmm.
because I've already made demo in the game. I could be like the first hyper realistic Inzoi VTuber. So that's what I was thinking about doing. In the future because it just looks so cool. I really love the graphics and stuff. It will burn up your computer though, for those of you who want to play. Make sure you check the specs before you buy it because it is $40. Not sponsored in any way, but I do enjoy the game.
so, so did you? Are you a longtime Sims fan? Would you say?
No, I did play a little bit of The Sims 4, but I thought because I joined The Sims 4 so late, like I think Sims 4 has been out what 10 years now, something like
It's
that.
been out a while.
A long time. And in order to buy the whole game, I think I did the math one time and it was like over $3,000 because you have to buy all the like kits and expansions and everything. And I was like, I'm not spending $3,000 on a game just so that I can see if the weather changes, which is another reason why I liked Enzoy because the day it came out, you already had stuff like weather built in. Like I didn't have to pay extra for anything.
Yeah.
It's just like a whole and complete game in and of itself.
Yes, I do like that model a lot better than the 1 trillion expansions thing.
Correct, yeah.
Back, I'm gonna really date myself. I grew up with the original Sims game, and that
Mm.
was that had like 4 or 8 expansion packs, something like that. But the thing is that the way I bought it, they all came together. It was,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Wait, so how does it feel having experienced Sims 1 and now seeing something like Inzoi? Like, how does that make you feel?
I always felt there was a sort of there is a significant shift in video games when you go from 2.5D, that is the ISO, what's it called? I forget what it's called, but it's called 2.5D. It's where you have the little diamond shapes instead of squares.
Yeah.
The transition from that to 3D I always felt was imperfect.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I always felt that it was much easier to get a grasp on what was going on in the flat plane rather than 3D space. And the way that the camera tends to move in sandbox games can get kind of confusing at times. So I look at it as kind of a double-edged sword. Yes, you can incorporate an awful lot of different things that in 2D doesn't really work, because 2D you have it's difficult to explain. In 2D there are very severe limitations that there are not in 3D. But in 3D there is a lot more usability problems, I would say.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay.
So
And then obviously the
trade-offs.
jump from 3D to hyper realistic must also feel kind of jarring.
Yeah.
I
I to
understand.
I, if I'm being very honest, hyper realistic to me has always been a relative term. I remember when people were watching like uh, the the Hulk movie and calling it hyper realistic. You know what I mean?
I mean, it was hyper realistic relative to the time, I think.
And in 10 years we'll just see the next hyper realistic thing. That's all.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm very excited. The more real things look, the crazier I feel. Like my hair even drives me crazy. I love watching it. It looks so real. And
Ten.
I think
Oh,
the
sorry.
more that we get that, the cooler it is, in my opinion. It feels
Yes.
more tangible to me because I like the immersion.
Yeah. And I mean, God, just to think 10 years ago, this conversation would not have happened. It
No, yeah.
two people who on their own created their own characters and in their own ways made them come to life are having a conversation.
Yeah. It's crazy when you think about it.
Yeah. A decade ago this was more or less not possible.
Yeah, yeah. A decade ago, I would have been like, "What's a VTuber? What do you mean? What even is that?"
So, your friends just dropped in to play video games. What are you playing?
Ooh, I'm probably convincing them to play Fortnite. That's my one true love, my beloved. I need to get like sponsored by them or something. I love them deeply.
Okay, switching gears again, I like to refer to these as the non sequitur questions. Which do you prefer, Elvis or the Beatles?
I'm gonna be so honest with you. I That's a little before my time. I haven't really listened to much of either of those
That is
people.
okay. If you can't listen to them, then who are you listening to?
Oh my gosh. I am really into what the kids are calling this genre is called slut pop. And so it has people like Kim Petras, Cobra. I love that kind of stuff.
I've I won't lie to you, that is a new one to me.
Oh my God. Don't listen to it on stream, but listen to the song Triple X by Kim Petras later when we're not in this interview and then message me and tell me what you think because I'm gonna laugh so hard because I think you're probably gonna hate it, but I love it.
I mean, I like to think I have an open mind, but I won't lie to you. I do kind of fall into the old man category where I hear the new weird thing, and I'm like,
Yeah.
ugh.
Oh, yeah, you're in your dad rock era. That's
Oh,
what the kids call it.
okay. I, I wanted to put it into YouTube to see what would happen, and in my dumb brain, I just said, "Oh well, what's the name of the song? Three X's.
It's
Type
literally
that
three
in."
X's by Kim Petras. Yep, it's triple X. Yep.
Well, yeah. So, but if you type three X's into YouTube, what do you think happens?
I just get the Kim Petras song. I can't speak to your algorithm, buddy.
Okay, there we go.
So funny.
But anyway, You're on a boat with friends. What
Mhm.
artist are you guys listening to?
Probably something similar like Cobra, Kim Petras. I've got the slut pop playlist on Spotify kicking, and I'm ready to shake my butt. I'm ready to boogie down.
What's a movie you can pick up in the middle and watch to the end?
Ooh, what a good question. Um, Probably Deathgasm. Have you ever heard of that movie?
I I
I'm
feel
gonna
like
go
I
with
might
no.
have at one point, but I can't remember it at all.
So Deathgasm is a B movie, so that's why I was like, I'm sure you've probably not heard of it. It's a
Hmm.
B movie from a B studio, so it's smaller. It's not like a AAA movie.
Of course.
And it's literally about these metalheads that end up having to fight zombies. And it's really funny, but it's 100% adult humor. Don't watch that with like a child in the room.
Of course.
It's a really, really good movie. That's one of my all-time favorites.
Nice. Uh, would you ever talk to a stranger unprompted in a public setting?
Well, I'm Midwestern, so in our eyes, no one is a stranger. That's just your neighbor you haven't said hello to before.
Oh.
So I do that daily, actually. We talk to each other a lot. I actually had a friend visit me a couple weeks ago, and he was from Texas. He was down south. And he's like, we have Southern hospitality, but it's not like this. Like, you have spoken to every waitress, waiter, cashier guy. Like, you know these people the entire time I've been here. And I was like, yeah, do you not? That's just like human courtesy. Like that's just the thing we do out here. He's like, yeah, and people are opening doors for you and you've never met them before. And I was like, that's just the Midwest. What do you want from me? He actually had a little bit of culture shock about it. And I was like, oh yeah, no, that's how it is out here. We open doors for each other, we change each other's flat tires. I might not even know you.
Well, the thing is, I live in the Northeast, and while we are nice to each other up here, nobody talks to one another.
Oh my god, we be yapping. The Midwest also has another thing. Have you ever heard of the Midwest goodbye?
No, I'm not familiar with
Oh
that one.
my God. So the Midwest Goodbye is so funny. And I actually had a phone call with another person the other day because I was interviewing them for a collab. And they're Midwestern too. And we even did the Midwest Goodbye in the freaking Zoom call. So a Midwest Goodbye is where you're talking for a while and you're like, oh, okay, we should end the talk conversation. So you say, okay, well, I've got to go. And then you talk for like another 10 minutes. And they're like, oh yeah, actually I do. I really have to go. And you like inch toward the door and then you'll talk for another 10 minutes and then you put your hand on the door handle of the front door and you're like then you talk for another 10 minutes and then you leave the house and then you're going to talk on the porch and then you end up
Hmm.
talking out by the car and then eventually finally one of you leaves. Like we just keep talking. Midwesterners, we're known for our yapping. We're big yappers.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not much of a yapper myself. I'm more like the guy who sits quietly in the car. Uh,
Oh gosh, you probably have culture shock out here.
oh, I actually have been to Michigan once before. It was a nice place, very flat.
Yeah, I've not been to Michigan, but yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, very nice place, very nice people. Uh,
Oh yeah.
so which do you prefer, chess or poker?
I don't know how to play either of those games. But if I had to pick one to learn, I think I would want to learn poker because then I could win money.
There you go. Uh, so what's your board game of choice then?
Ooh, I'm gonna get canceled on Twitter for this one too. I actually don't like nor do I ever play board games. I think
Okay.
the only board game I will say that I do like is occasionally I'll dabble with a bit of Monopoly. That's about as wild as it gets over here. But every time I try to play a board game with someone, especially if they're into board games, so they have these like huge collections of board games with names I've never heard of, and you
Yeah.
try to sit down and play the game, and they're just talking at you for 3 hours about the rules. I can't. I can't. I don't have the stamina or mental bandwidth for that. I need something like Yahtzee. Shake dice, do number match. No, okay, demo lose.
Yeah.
I can't. I can't. I'm not smart enough for whatever complex games we're playing here.
I 100% agree with that. I can't. It's there are lots of older board games that I'm perfectly fine with, and then
Mhm.
you get to the newer ones, and the newer ones they all have like a booklet for the
Yeah.
rules, and I don't want to read a booklet for the
I can't. I
rules.
can't. And then like after you get through the booklet, I was like, I don't even remember what the first rule was because you've told me 200 since then. So it's like I can't handle it. I don't have the mental bandwidth. I think it's because I had a stroke and so my brain is not firing on all cylinders anymore.
Mm,
I have memory problems. I just it's miserable for me.
yeah, yeah. No, I understand that as well. Unfortunately.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
uh, so where was I? What was your favorite thing to do during recess as a child?
Uh I didn't really get to do a lot of recess as a child because I didn't get to go to school a whole lot.
All right.
So maybe
Hmm.
pass that question.
Yeah, let's pass that one. What was your favorite thing you ever cooked yourself?
I can't cook. I can't cook. It's
Well, you
actually a
must have
running
cooked
gag.
something.
No, it's like a running gag. In my Discord we have like a foodstuffs tab, and I'll post photos of the monstrosities that I try to like cook and eat. It's bad. I did a live stream once of me trying to cook, and it came out gray. You can't. I don't cook. I good luck to whoever marries me. They're gonna be the cooker.
Well, well, I have good news for you. The next question: what's the worst thing you ever cooked yourself?
Oh, the gray stuff. Okay, so here's what happened. I'll explain to you what happened. Feel free to judge me, that's fine. But like, I was trying. The goal was I don't like to eat vegetables because I hate their texture, right? And I saw like a TikTok video of this lady who was like, "Oh, just put the vegetables in your pasta sauce and blend it up, and you won't
Oh
you
no!
won't notice it, and you can just eat it."
Oh
So
no!
what I did was I was like, "Okay, well, I like the flavor of mushrooms. That's good for like protein or whatever. I'll just make some Alfredo. I'll put the mushrooms in, cook it, blend it up, put it on my pasta, and be done with it." And it actually tasted fine. But after I blended the canned mushrooms into the sauce, I was like, this is fucking gray.
Yeah.
This looks sad. This looks like some sort of gray sludge from a science fiction movie. I can't. And everybody on stream was like, "What is that? What did you do?" And I was like, "I'm so sorry. I made gray sludge, but it actually tastes fine because it just tastes like Alfredo sauce, but it looks like a fucking food crime."
See, if you had seared the mushrooms in a separate pan and then just added them to the Alfredo sauce, I bet you that would have worked pretty well.
But then I would have had the texture of the mushrooms.
So
The whole
you,
point was to blend it into the sauce so that I didn't have to experience it.
fair enough. Uh,
That was the plan. It didn't go well.
so, what would your ideal home look like?
Mmm. That's a great question because I kind of oscillate between aesthetics and real life. In real life, I either dress really, really fancy or I dress like alternative. There's no in
Mm,
between. Um, and then my house currently where I live, I painted all the furniture bright, vibrant, like very bright pastel colors. So
mm-hmm.
everything is very colorful and then all of my artwork is on the walls. But if I owned a house and I could get like an interior designer, like say I had the budget for that, I think I would want something kind of Rococo inspired. And I would want like the Greek god statues throughout my house, especially like Aphrodite, and I would want like the big picture frames with the gold on them. Do you know what I'm talking about?
What's Rococo?
Rococo. Okay, so Rococo, if you Google it, Roccoo, it RCOCO. It's an art period.
Oh, yep.
It's very Victorian. There's lots of bright pastel colors, lots of oil paintings, um, gold frames, that kind of thing. I'd
Mm,
want something like that, but with that Hellenic polytheism mixed in there.
hmm.
That's probably what I'd go for.
Hmm.
I'd want to feel fancy in my house since I don't ever leave my house. So keep in mind that like making my house kind of extra interesting and bizarre and weird gives my brain something to do because I don't leave the house.
Yeah.
I don't get that external stimuli, so I have to create this stimuli in my hamster cage.
It reminds me a lot. I once took a field trip to see the houses of the various robber barons because they're pretty much museums nowadays,
Yeah.
and that's what the art style kind of reminds me of a little bit.
Yeah, it's very Palace of Versailles
Yeah.
energy. Like I would love a fountain. Like if I had a yard with like a fountain, that'd be sick.
So, you find $20 in the street. What do you buy with it?
$20 is not enough money to buy anything that I would like. Because even my favorite lip gloss costs more than that. I
So,
guess I would go to Culver's. That's what I would do. Again, once again, not sponsored. And I try not to go on Culver rants every day, but I would go to Culver's. I would get me my double bacon butter burger, baby, with extra mayonnaise, extra onion, extra pickle, and I would go ham on that thing.
we don't have Culvers around here, so I've never actually been to one. Is that? Oh dear.
I feel so sad for you. Allow me to preach to you the gospel that is Culver's. Culver's is a Midwestern burger chain. And I think it started in Wisconsin. So they actually use Wisconsin cheese, Wisconsin dairy, fresh beef, never frozen, that kind of thing. And they take your burger bun, they butter it with that really high quality dairy, and they put it directly on the griddle and they toast the inside of that bun. And then
Oh.
they put their fresh burger on there, the really good Wisconsin cheese. If you've never had Midwestern cheese before, you've not lived. Because I've tasted cheese in other states and it's not good. I'm so sorry for all of you out there. Your dairy's not good.
I don't know. I will hold exception to that because I'm from New England and we have some dairy aficionados out here too. We got Cabot cheddar, and Cabot cheddar is not bad.
Okay, yeah, I do like Cabot. Cabot's good. But like for the most part, like if you go down south or you go to the West Coast, I'm sorry. Your dairy's just not that good. I don't know how to help you. Our local chains are way better than like buying from like big chains. I can't help you guys. But yeah, you get that Wisconsin cheddar on there. You get the fried cheese curds on the side and they squeak. Oh, I can't explain what a beautiful, once again not sponsored, but a beautiful experience Culver's is.
Oh man. Well, if I ever visit my friend in Michigan again, I'll have to request that.
Please do. Make
Yeah.
sure you get plenty of ranch.
It's funny when I went down there, they had to bring me to all of these different places because they weren't around. We went to what was it called? There's kind of like Myers is it's called, or
Oh, I've,
Mayors.
I've heard of Myers. We don't have them where I live. Where I live, our local chain is called Hy-Vee.
Yeah, and I also went to what's it called? Menards.
Oh, Menards. Menards is a Midwest staple. Save big money at Menards. Oh yeah. That's actually the Midwest anthem. Fun fact.
So yes, I did get to, because the thing is I'm kind of a DIYer, so I was like Menards. That sounds like it'd be one of the place where I buy stuff.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Okay, which trivia category are you best at?
I don't think I've ever played trivia.
Hmm.
What are some examples? Can I choose one?
Well, let's see. We have entertainment, math and science, sports,
Okay, so what I'm hearing is I'd be bad at trivia.
history.
Yep, still be bad at it.
Unfortunately, I don't have Trivial
Is there
Pursuit categories in front of me. Hold on.
is there a brain rot category? Can I talk about hitting the gritty in
Yeah,
Fortnite?
I would count entertainment as at least partially brain rot.
Oh, but you say entertainment, and I just assume all the questions are about like celebrities, and I don't know anything about any celebrity. I don't
Yeah.
even know their names.
Okay, hold on. The 6 categories in Trivial Pursuit are geography, entertainment, history, art and literature, science and nature, and sports and leisure.
The only one I have a chance in hell with would be art because I took an art history class in college. Otherwise, I'd be SOL.
I'm gonna make note because that's a new question. I tend to
Yeah.
ask a lot of similar questions between interviews. I'm gonna make note of that. Include notes on what actual categories there are.
Yeah, because I don't think I've ever played Trivial Pursuit before.
Oh boy.
Isn't that a game from like the 80s? That's before my
Oh,
time.
it's so. Oh, the thing is, okay. So in fairness to the game, they have updated a lot since it originally came out. They've had lots
Okay.
of expansion packs. They've redone the game many times over. If you were to go to the store right now and buy it, it would have modern questions in it.
Okay, okay.
But nobody plays those.
No, no,
everybody
no.
everybody plays the original version, and the questions are goddamned ancient.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't. Even if you got the contemporary one, I would be lost. I'd be like, are there questions about Kai Cenat in there? No, I'm screwed.
Yeah, no. The question is more like you get sports and leisure, and it was like, which baseball player in 1939 was responsible for winning the big game in quotation marks?
Why would I know the answer to that?
Nobody knows. Nobody
It
knows
sounds
anymore.
like a game made by men for men. I'm just
No,
gonna say that.
it was a game made by men for men in 1960.
So the answer is yes.
Oh, okay. If you could wake up with one talent tomorrow, what would it be?
Okay, well, I'm already convinced that I can rap and I can paint and I can VTube and I can create V-roids and I can create cool content. So I'm already like super based. I don't know
Nice.
if you can add to perfection, but I guess I would add like maybe the ability to make music because that's been one of my dreams and goals as a VTuber is to be like make a song. I would love to. Oh, I don't even have to make a song. Just have listen, y'all. Just feature demo. Let me come on. Let me like rap for like 5 seconds. Let me just have a feature on one of your songs. That's my dream. I'm manifesting it. I'm putting it out there. I'm shooting my shot right now to everybody listening. Let me be on your song.
This is your chance. Give us your best Eminem take right now.
Eminem. Do people still listen to
No,
Eminem?
no, unfortunately not. No, nobody listens to him anymore, but they do. They still quote "Lose Yourself."
I will say, as of right now, my favorite rapper is probably Doechii.
Dochi.
Doechii. Mm-hmm. Man, she is a lyrical genius.
As someone who knows nothing about rap, I'm sure she is. Oh boy. If you could talk to a historical figure, who would it be?
Let's see. I think I would want to talk to Lady Gaga.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Did
Yeah, that's my historical figure, Lady Gaga.
Did you have anything you wanted to talk to her about in particular?
Yeah, I would ask her how she balances life. I'd be like, how once you go, because she had such a fast rocket to fame, right? And she also dealt with all those weird people asking if she had like extra body parts and stuff. We don't have to get into that, but like she dealt with a lot of stress at the beginning of her career, and I'm already feeling stressed, and I'm not even being attacked like that. So I would ask her how to handle that, so that I could be a good entertainer and not like crash out, because I don't think she ever had like a Britney Spears crash out. Um, so
Honestly,
I would ask her how she handled all of that, how she handles her creativity, because sometimes I can deal with a lot of art blocks myself. Like I would just ask her stuff like that.
I think that Britney Spears is a bit of a different situation, though. I think that she just kind of had problems, and they were just hidden very, very well throughout her career.
Oh,
And
probably. But my point is that like a lot of like musicians at some point have some sort of crash out, and I don't
yeah,
think I've ever heard about one about Lady Gaga.
yeah,
And she's always been so iconic. Like she showed up in like a meat dress one time.
yep, I remember
She's
that.
always been for the girls, the gays, and the theys. Like I live for Lady Gaga.
Okay, when you're down, where might you go to cheer yourself up?
Stream probably. I have the best community in the world. I know that every VTuber probably says that. Every streamer probably says that, but every streamer is wrong. Okay, they are wrong because I have the best community. My community is the best community, and I will go down swinging on that anthill. Um, the people that are in my community, they would stop and how ask each other how they're doing when they're having a rough time.
Hmm.
I haven't seen that in some of these other communities. Like we're just so tight knit. We really care for each other.
Nice. That is really really important, especially when you're
Hmm.
at kind of the small level kind of thing where
Yeah.
where you have like a group of like maybe 20 people who are all just kind of talking to each other all the time. I always found that
Yeah.
to be the most. I found that to be very comfortable for me
Yeah, I think we have
personally.
like 200 people on our Discord.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's I'd say like 20 to 50 people in there yapping with each other every day, and they come to stream consistently, and I know them by their names and stuff, and I know what's going on in their life. Like I know a lot.
Yeah.
I'm really tapped in.
Oh, that's really nice. Uh, do you collect anything?
Women.
Oh.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I wish. I
Hold
wish.
hold on. I have a list here. I sorry. I have a. I have more questions. No,
Okay.
I'm kidding.
I'm
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 kidding.
I'm listening. How can I help? I though there's a running joke that I collect women because I have a lot of waifus and husbandos.
Hmm.
Um, like I collect all these streamers and then I call them my waifu. Like in Bisque, for example, love her. Biscuit the Rose, love
Hmm.
her. She's a waifu. Miko, of course.
Hmm.
Just stuff like that. I'm kind of known for being a little bit of a rizzler. I can't help myself.
Nice. And my final question of the interview: what smell reminds you of home?
What a good question. I've never thought about that before. Probably strawberry cake. My grandmother used to make strawberry cake all the time for me because it was my favorite. And I've
Uh-huh.
never had a strawberry cake like the one that she had used to make ever again. Like it's just not available. I think it was a recipe she took with her when she passed. And she would actually feed me slices of strawberry cake for breakfast because, and I quote, "Oh, demo, how's that any different than eating a pastry or a donut for breakfast? Sugar is sugar. Eat your cake, honey." And so I would.
Well,
um,
that's just common sense right there.
Clearly, my grandmother was a genius. So yeah, no, I think strawberry cake or just strawberries in general would probably remind me of home.
I am curious. I'm gonna need a little bit more description. So is the cake itself strawberry, or is it like cake with strawberries on top, or? Ooh.
Sometimes both. Usually the cake itself was strawberry, and it was
Hmm.
always like pink inside.
Hmm.
But it doesn't taste like that pink strawberry cake mix you get at the store. I don't know
No,
what she was doing.
she was probably using real strawberries.
Yeah, she was doing some witchcraft in there or something. I don't know. It was good.
Oh.
The kind of food that haunts your dreams. Grandma cooking.
Oh man. Well, first of all, thank you very much for coming out. I've had a real pleasure talking to you. Uh, and if you're watching in the audience right now, you can find more information on Demo in the description to this video, and I'll be posting some links in the side chat because the unfortunately the description is not friendly for hyperlinks. But be sure to check her out, and thank you again for joining me today. I was your host, Jack Jinseki, and joining me today was Pandemos. Bye bye, everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.